Okay, my name is Coding User, and in this video we'll be covering types and instances. So, some videos ago, well actually like the first and in the classes video, I explained something called types. As I said, types are like different ways to like annotate variables, and like different variables can have different types, like strings, like text, or even numbers, or anything, or even arrays, as I said, objects, anything. Now, something I didn't mention was types, type of, and instance of. So let's cover them. We should To explain this, I'll just make an if statement like this. Let me just continue. Okay, like that. Very simple. If condition is met, then console.log. Inside of this if statement, we'll just say if, like, let's make an array is type of object. No, if type. No, this is a bit different. It's if type of this equals, and then it shows all of them. In type of, there's no array. I'll cover that in instance. So if we run this, array is an type of object. It might seem a bit confusing, but in reality, arrays are just like objects without labels. So that's why it would show true, and it would probably, if we do node dots, it says array is type of object. This is all good, but what if you wanted to like only pick out arrays, for example? You could use instance of, and then you'd use a class like array, or let's see if there's string. Yeah, there's even string. Instead of using like type of equals, you'd use like the predefined building blocks. So if array is equal to array, and this gives you lots of functionality because you can add, if like for example you were to have something else that you want to find, like if it's only equal to a certain type, for example. Meanwhile, here's more of like an overview, because arrays technically inherit, which like inherit I covered in classes video, which is like class would be like array extends object. It would look something like this. So that's why it shows like that there's no array type. So that was just me rambling about types. Now in here, if we did, we can just copy this and paste it and do array is a type of is an instance of, and then array. Now if we run this, it says is a type of object and array. Now a quick bonus is that there's this more like confusing thing which is called NaN, which is meant to mean not a number, but like ironically it's literally a type of number. So if we do console.log and then type of NaN, let's see, it's a number, which doesn't really make sense, but that's the way it is. So it's like, it's basically if we were to do like zero, like 2 divided by 0, for example, that would be not a number, but at the same time it would be a type of number. So if we do like, if we were to in a real case scenario, like NaN would be probably like this, and then if we do the type as I covered, then it'd say not a number. As I said, it's a bit confusing because I mean this makes sense because it's not a number, but then the not a number variable is a number. I know, a bit confusing. Now you could like make more complex systems. Like let's say we use the npm is comes with nodes. So if we do npm I read line sync, for example, something like that. Just wait for it to download. Now, if we import it with, uh, I'll cover npm and imports in another video, but we just do read line, const read line equals require, which is a way of importing in Node. We just do like that, like it's setting a variable to what we read from here, and then we do readline dot question, for example. Um, enter a number. Now, if we were to do like, let's define it like, let's say let input equal that, that the results of that question. So if we do the number function, which just like converts a string into a number, we would need to add some checks if it is convertible with, we could do it like with the NaN type, like if number inputs, because if it isn't a number, like if it isn't convertible, it just returns not a number. So if like, for example, mm, if in number input is equal to not a number, uh, then console.log, this would probably be in a function, so you'd use like a return, so it would stop the function. I don't know, you could get creative, like, so if we do the value you entered is non-transferable to number. Okay. Now you could do that with regular expressions, which I'll cover in another video. But now let's just use this, because in this video I'm talking about not a number and types and everything. So if we do number input, and then we just do 2 divided by number inputs, we just console.log that. So if we go here and we do node dots, and it asks enter a number 23, and then it's like, because sometimes you need to be careful, like, yes, like if we, it literally just returns. So if we do this, it's infinity, which is not a number. Sometimes it depends, like sometimes it's not a number, sometimes it's infinity. You should be careful with JavaScript, because since it's so like infinity and NaN are kind of the same, but at the same time they aren't. That's been like most on types and instances that I didn't mention in the last, like in the first video and in classes. I'll cover, as I said, I'll cover the read line and all of that stuff. So and also regex. So make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.